What's going on, people? Got a lot to cover. As you can see, we got four cups because we're reviewing four different kinds of pumpkin beers, and we're gonna go through so much up to date horror news that your brain is not gonna be able to handle it. Your brain's gonna melt. So let's go ahead and let's start. We got a lot to cover. How's it going, man? How's it going? How is it how's it happening? How's happening? And let me set the mood here a little bit. I know it started off with like a little bit of creepiness in the very beginning, but we gotta keep the party going, especially because again, we're going to be touching on a lot of subjects on horror, movies, news, and a bunch of stuff. Like there's so much that I want to go through with you guys. It's insane. So what I'm gonna go ahead and start doing is while I pour the four beers, I'm gonna start with one of those things. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by pouring. There's no particular order. I'm just gonna start grabbing them. But before I do that, let me go ahead and show you the beers that we're gonna be reviewing today. Is none other than from Elysian. Elysian. I'm sorry. Elysian. That's how it goes. Brewery, Elysian Brewery. Not very familiar. I have tried one other stuff before. This one is a much more festive type of situation on account of it's October, Halloween's coming up, and yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you real quick the very first one here. This is the Elysian Dark O the Moon. This is a pumpkin stout. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to leave this one for last for the reason that I don't enjoy mixing stouts with other kinds of beers for the reason that it gives me the beer shit. So to avoid that, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of each one. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to pour a little bit of each. And yeah, this is how this is going to happen. So first news, again, I'm gonna say this as I pour. But before that, let me show you the next one here. This is the pumpkin Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. This one's pretty cool. The design of this thing is pretty badass. If I can focus, there we go. The Night Owl from Elijah. This is kind of sort of like, I'm assuming like the regular pumpkin ale. In fact, I'm gonna put them right here as so I can know which one's which, so I won't get confused. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm sorry. There we go. So we got stout and a pumpkin ale. Next up, you know what, let me just pour this first and then we'll get right on to the first news, so it won't get too confusing. This one is the coffee pumpkin ale. This one's also a little bit darker, but more of a coffee route. I'm gonna assume that it's not as dark. I pour too much of this, that's fine. It's not as dark as the stout. Let's see, it actually looks like soda compared to the stout. If you put it up to the light, it definitely looks like a soda. So that's pretty cool. Just see the comparison. And then we got what I can only assume is, the original one with the Night Owl, the pumpkin ale. This one, my friends, is the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. This one's got the coolest design, maybe, possibly. Leave it in the comments. Which one are you digging so far? I'm gonna pour that much of it, and there we go. We got all four of the beers. In fact, never mind. I'll leave that there. We got all four of the beers right here. Let me start by saying the first thing here. The first thing that I want to talk about. I'm gonna go over here. The first thing I want to talk about is I mentioned in the community, in my Booze&Chill channel, in the community tabs, I put it to a vote. What it is that you guys wanted to talk about, whether it was found footage horror movies, cursed horror movies or up-to-date news. It was a 50-50 between, I believe it was the news and as well as found footage stuff. So there's one thing that I want to talk about, just a little bit. It's just a little. It's not huge, but I think maybe it's something that you guys will actually like to know. I want to talk about the Blair Witch Project. Who remembers the Blair Witch Project? I can think of a time when that first came out. I don't know what year it was, but I know it was my uncle who actually went to theaters to watch this thing, and he came home and he said that it was boring. I don't know whether to believe him or not, but Blair Witch Project for me was always cool. The idea of a found footage genre was just creepy within itself. It's like to put out a horror movie, and a very fucked up looking horror movie, and say that, oh, this actually happened. It was like, it was scary. It's scary because it made you believe it, right? And by the way, real quick, let me know, because I know I had trouble with the whole Facebook, YouTube thing. If you guys see that I'm ignoring you, please come swing on by to the YouTube, please. So anyways, so the Blair Witch Project. Do you know who thought the Blair Witch Project was too freaky? I'm gonna go ahead and show you. It is none other than my man, Stephen King. Stephen King, in his words, said that the Blair Witch Project was just too freaky, and like I was saying earlier, I kind of sort of understand that, because to put out a movie, a really fucked up looking movie, a realistic looking movie, it's like, and again, to say that it's real, again, it might work, it might not. It's a gimmick, right? But it's like, it's cool. It's cool, and it's scary to put it out there and say, like, oh, based on a true story. You know what I mean? So I get that Blair Witch Project. I mean, so I understand it. I liked it. I loved it, actually. And then came part 2, and this actually came out as a movie. I think I might have preferred the first one, because again, it gave it that more realistic feel. But that's just me. But leave it in the comments. What do you guys think about the Blair Witch Project? Here we got a really, probably the freakiest part of the fucking movie, which is the part where, like, what's her face? I think it was Sarah finds this dude in the corner, and then boom, that's where it fucking ends. It's the creepiest fucking part of the movie. I just realized I got none of my banners here. But yes. So we had Stephen King thought the Blair Witch Project was too freaky. He thought it was too freaky. But yes, there's that. And speaking of what's called Stephen King, he's going to. Well, there's word. It's not like completely 100% true, but there's word out that there might be a chance that we might get to see the Langoliers. I don't think I have a picture of it here, but basically the Langoliers is like little ball-shaped monsters that eat time. If that makes any sense. We actually talked about this in one of the Cosmic Live. If I get an opportunity, I will leave the link in the description. So there's an opportunity that the Langoliers might happen. It's just a rumor. Might not, but hey. The thing about the Langoliers, though, is that there's no way of getting it right or wrong, because Langoliers is more of like it's not like a serious scary movie. It's kind of almost funny in a sense, but again, it's neither hit or miss if they tried rebooting it or continuing the story somehow. So I mean, like, I say go for it, right? But there's that. So let's go ahead and start with the first things here that we do. Because I've had the beer here for a while. Let's start by smelling them all. So many caps. I'm just gonna go ahead and toss them all. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from this side to over here. Your left. No, your right, my left. Whatever. So I'm gonna start from here. This one is the Great Pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin, which is the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. This is the one that we're gonna be smelling. And like straight up pumpkin. And I'm not just saying that because it's a pumpkin ale, but like it's like a very organic pumpkin smell. There's a little bit of sweetness. And also, I'm not going to be doing the chart for this one for the reason that there's 4 of them. I'm just going to run this through, man. I'm just going to run this one through. There's pumpkin, there's a sweetness, almost like a cinnamony caramel kind of taste. I think it's gonna be good. What's gonna be good? The beer? Because the beer is good. But you have tried this. My wife stopping by. I could have sworn I had, whatever. So yeah, we got pumpkin, caramelly, cinnamony, maybe possibly a little bit of like a toffee. How do you pronounce that? Toffee or taffy? One of those two. And quite possibly a little bit of brown sugar in this one. Then the Imperial Ale. For those of you just tuning in, we're doing the smelling part of the beer review here. We're doing the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It's a pretty freaking delicious smelling. But that's what I'm picking up. Pumpkin, brown sugar, cinnamon, toffee or taffy. I'm not sure how you pronounce that one. But it's delicious. It's right up there with a pumpkin spice frap. It reminds me of a pumpkin frap for those of you who are big Starbucks goers and drinkers. So with that, I'm gonna move on to the next one, and this next one is the coffee. This is the coffee pumpkin ale. Give me a sec here. There we go. This is the coffee pumpkin ale that we're about to smell first. The design on it is freaking awesome, but the jack-o'-lantern just inhaling the soul of the coffee. That's like the reverse effect of what coffee does to us. At least that's how I see it. So straight up coffee beans, black coffee beans. What smells, again, it's not because it's a pumpkin ale, but it's like black coffee beans with a hint of, like, you know, when you put the pumpkin what you call it, pumpkin creamer. It smells like a pumpkin cream with coffee. Toasty, actually, yeah. Toasty, burnt, slightly toasty, roasted black coffee beans with a pumpkin syrup, pumpkin cream. Try saying pumpkin 3 times really fast. And that's really all I get. It's the smell of the coffee that's coming out of the coffee pumpkin ale completely takes over the entire thing, the entire cup. Because as you can see, it's like almost halfway, and the coffee just consumes all this from up here. So all you get is the coffee. It's insane. So we got a pumpkin frap, a pumpkin latte smelling type of deal. What's going on this section right over here. So we're done with this one, And now it's time to move to the next one. Here we've got, what do we got here? This is the pumpkin ale. The pumpkin ale, and let me go ahead and show you all. This is what's going on. We're about to get a nice whiff of the Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. Cheers. Much more. Give me a second here. I'm gonna compare it to the Imperial. So this one's just pumpkin ale, and this is Imperial. Imperial's got more of a sweet candy-ish smell. This is more like straight up organic pumpkin smell. It basically has the same notes as the Imperial does, but just turned down. Like more pumpkin, less pumpkin frap, as I've been calling it. And it's got more of a wheat type of smell to that. What's going on, Selenas? Happy 11 days to Halloween. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Is it 11 days? Oh, shite. Is it? 1, 2, 3. Actually, not. Wait, I'm doing my math wrong. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah. Yeah, around there. Yeah, it's around 11 days. Sweet. Sweet. Cheers. Oh, I haven't gone to the drinking yet. I'm about to finish this one and move on to the last one. So basically, if you all are just tuning in, we're doing the here we go. We're doing the smell of the Night Owl Elysian Pumpkin Ale, which again, compared to the Elysian Great Pumpkin, the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Imperial's not sweeter. This is much more organic, much more natural. Oh, got on my lips a little bit. Not drinking that yet. So basically, these are about the same, just sweeter, more organic. So I'm gonna toss these to this side over here. We're gonna move on to the last one, which will be the the pumpkin stout. The Elysian Dark O' the Moon. I love the name. I love the design. It's got the werewolf going on. Very Halloweeny. Sticking to the theme. Because that's how we roll here in Booze and Chill. So, cheers to the smell. Oh my. Is it possible to get lightheaded from just sniffing beers? Because after this, and then this one, just like, it like hit me. It hit me. This one has more of a, it's close to the coffee pumpkin ale. Not saying that because they're both dark-ish. I mean, compared to the stout, this one looks like a freaking soda. If you can see this under the lights, it's insane. I want to see if maybe I can give you a good old reference. Nope, too dark here. It's too dark. But trust me when I say that this is Coke looking. Compared to the stout, it's black, like pitch black. But the smell is like, it's coffee. And you know what this smells like? It smells like a what do they call it? A Coke float. This smells like a Coke float. I get some. You get the cinnamon, you get the brown sugar, slight vanilla in this one. Slight vanilla. I want to compare this one. Oh, hell no. This is just roasted, like burnt coffee beans. This is like clean brown sugar, vanilla, weedy. It smells like a Coke float because of the sweetness of the vanilla, the notes that I'm picking up on the smell. It smells like a goddamn Coke float. It's insane. I didn't pick that up before because I did test these out because these came in a 12-pack. They call it the pumpkin pack. I might have forgotten to put a picture of the goddamn pack, but it comes in a pack. It comes all four. I tried them, did not pick up that smell. I typically do my intense reviews when it comes down to the reviews and stuff. So that is surprising that I did not pick that up the first time. So did the smell. Before we get to the sipping and the tasting, let's move on to the next news. We first talked about Blair Witch Project and how I thought about it, and how Stephen King thought that it was too freaky, and there's a possibility of the Stephen King's Langoliers coming back as a reboot, or I'm not even sure. They didn't even specify what it was going to be, but there was that. So next news, this I actually stumbled into, I think it was 2-3 days ago. So this is the Never Hike Alone 2, the Friday the 13th fan film. To be quite honest with you, I wasn't even 100% sure there was even a part 1. So I'm a little, not embarrassed, but I'm ashamed that I didn't know that. So I caught part 2. It's actually really, really good. This is going to be a little mini review. So the part 2 to the Never Hike Alone was actually really, really good. They bring back, I believe his name was Mike Thomas. He was in the Friday the 13th part 5. If I'm not mistaken, he actually killed Jason Voorhees. They bring him back. I don't know. Like I said, I missed part 1. I don't know if he was there. But in part 2, they bring him back. And he's basically just like, he's completely traumatized with the first interaction he had with him, which was part 5. Because the guy's older and whatnot. And Jason and him go at it and whatnot. And he's basically trying to send Jason back to hell, as he says in the goddamn fan film. I also feel weird kind of sort of calling it a fan film, because like the fan films nowadays, they're just fucking crazy. Like they're really, really good. Like they're cinematically like just amazing, which I think they did very well with Never Hike Alone 2. And now I need to catch up to 1 and see if they coincide somehow. But there's that news, guys. If y'all didn't know, fan film, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Never Hike Alone Part 2. There's a Part 1. Check that out first before you do this one. I didn't even know, so there you go. So there's that. So let's move on to the other part of the beer reviews before we move on to I'll do a beer, I'll do news, so on and so forth, because again there's a lot that I'm gonna unload with you guys, so much. So Stephen King, Langoliers. Stephen King might be a little bit afraid of Blair Witch, and now Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th fan film. So let's go ahead and start with the tasting part while we keep talking some more horror news. Leave in the comments if you guys are digging this music. Dance to it. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Imperial Ale. This one right here. Again, no particular order. The only one I do want to leave behind is the stout, because again, I don't want to get the beer shits, because stouts are typically like a lot more like heavier. So I'm gonna leave that last. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and switch the coffee stuff second to last, just to be safe. So Imperial's Pumpkin Ale. Cheers. It definitely tastes like a pumpkin frap ish, except beer like. It's you get the pumpkin right away, punches you right in the mouth. Right there. Pumpkin punches you right in the mouth, and you get that brown sugary. What is that? There's a little bit of spice to it. There's a pumpkin, brown sugars, and a little bit of spice. For those of you just tuning in, This is what we're doing right now. This is Elysian, the Great Pumpkin, Imperial Pumpkin Ale. The tasting part. It's very crisp. It's very, very crisp. Very, very pumpkin-y. I was expecting this one off more of the pumpkin ale. And we might, but we're not there yet. We're about to, though. But this one, the pumpkin flavor in this one, it's subtle. Like, it punches you in the mouth, but it's subtle. And then you get that brown sugar, that sweetness, and then you get that spice at the very end. As you drink it, the spice just kind of like stays behind. So there's a little bit of bitter IBUs there, the bitterness. But other than that, let's see. We've got 8.4% ABV on the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Well, I'll be a son of a gun. That's where I'm assuming the ABV is kind of sort of pushing and helping out the spice at the end. That's what I'm getting. It's typically when there's a heavy beer, and by heavy I mean like high on ABV, it typically packs like this punch to it. So I'm getting that. I'm getting the pumpkin. I'm getting the sweetness, the brown sugar, the spice. Very refreshing, very crisp. It's delicious. Delicious. The pumpkin ale, Imperial Pumpkin Ale, guys, recommend it. By Elysian. Check it out if you guys can get your hands on it. If you guys are watching from home city Laredo, Texas, I actually picked these bad boys up at the what's called the HEB Plus. So, letting you know, you can get this, and it comes in a 12 pack. Did not see them individually. I wouldn't do that in the individual thing because I think it costs more. So what I recommend you to do, get the 12 pack, try them all. It's worth it. It's fun. It's fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you another news before we move on to the next one. So here we've got, let's see, we talked about the Jason Voorhees fan film, and now I want to talk about Pet Sematary Bloodlines. This is going to be a little mini review. I actually caught this movie about a week ago, and it was kind of, how do I put it? It was different. It was interesting, but how do I put it? If you guys have caught or seen the first Pet Sematary movie, you see that all the shit that's going on is just happening to the family. The movie kind of sort of pushes it to the entire town having to deal with it. Again, I don't want to go into full details. I don't want to do any spoilers. But the entire town knows about the entire Pet Sematary, the curse and whatnot. The soulless Hawa! But everybody knows, and everybody keeps it a secret, keeps it hush-hush, and trying to keep it from getting to the next generation, so on and so forth, hence the title Bloodline. I don't want to go any more details, but I will say it was interesting. It was different. I mean, it's just something you have to kind of catch for yourself. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining. There's just some things in there that kind of sort of like dulled it a little bit for me. But Pet Sematary Bloodlines is definitely a watch. I mean, it's October, close to Halloween. It gives you something. It gives you something to do. It gives you something to see. But yeah, I do recommend you guys give it a shot, give it a try, and just see If you are a Stephen King Pet Cemetery fan, I definitely recommend you go check this out. Again, it's different. It's the direction is different, story's different. The characters were fine. I enjoyed them. They're okay, but that's really all I gotta say about the Bloodlines. And here we got a comment here. Gary Coleman, he's still alive. He faked his death in 2010. Now owns a chain of Long John Silver's restaurants and True Inspiration, the James Warm Steel Reserve. Nice. Thank you, Slipper House. What's going on, Sir Alex? What's going on? You haven't missed much, man. Just got down one beer and a couple of updates, horror updates. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop that one there. But I do think that maybe you guys should check out Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. And maybe leave it in the comments down below if you want me to do a review on it. And we can just we can go from there. But Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, it's interesting. It's different. I'll just leave it at that. It's a different take. I'm gonna have the lesson for this. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start on the pumpkin ale. So you're just tuning in. We've gone through, what was it? The Imperial. We've just went through the smelling part and the tasting. The tasting we just finished the Imperial Pumpkin Stout here, and now we are about to go on to the Pumpkin Ale, the Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. The designs are freaking awesome. You gotta admit. Leave it in the comments if you guys are fans of this, of the designs of these beers here. So, cheers. Start the tasting. Yep. Much more organic. It's less sweeter than the Imperial Pumpkin. You get the same, as far as smells, you get the same notes from the Imperial as you do from the Pumpkin Ale, except on the Pumpkin Ale, they're a lot more subtle. This is much more sweeter, but then you drink it. Actually, no, I lied. The sweetness is still there, even in the taste. And here, though, it's a lot more bitter. In fact, let me just real quick check this out. We've got about 6.7 ABV. That's like 2 point something less more than the Imperial. Does that affect the flavor? I personally think it does, because like I mentioned earlier, if you drink a beer that has a really high ABV, there's a kick to it. It's almost like a very, very bitter. This one, the bitterness is a little bit more subtle, more pumpkin flavor than anything else. Very, very subtle, sweet brown sugar notes, and possibly there's a bit of roastiness into this one. There's no roasting anything in the Imperial. There's a little bit of roast in this one. Roasted, like roasted wheat, almost pumpkin, brown sugar, roasted wheat. What else am I picking up here? What do we got here? I hate pumpkin anything, but love the production. Thank you, sir. It's too bad about the pumpkin. I'm a huge pumpkin spice guy. The kids will call me basic, which I really don't really fucking know what that means. But call me whatever the fuck you want. I love pumpkin. It doesn't even have to be October. I don't know. just something about it. Halloween is my favorite holiday ever. I love October. So the might have something to do with it. But yeah. But thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you enjoy this. So this much more laid back as far as sweetness goes compared to the Imperial stouts. In fact, I need a water. I need some water. I need a rinse. Give me a sec here. But as far as the Imperial Pumpkin Ale and the regular Pumpkin Ale go, there's similarities, but the Imperial is much more sweeter. So I think I would lay more towards the Imperial. I have a big sweet tooth, so I lay more towards the Imperial. I'm not saying that the Pumpkin Ale sucks. It's just it's more mellow compared to the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. So there's that. So those two right there. I'm gonna end that review for these two, but before that, I'm gonna finish this. If you could just give me just a sec, I need to rinse. Thank you, hand. Thank you, thing. My wife, everybody, playing as the thing. Water. I like to rinse pellets before I try. I didn't do that for these, but I was still able to indicate the flavors. And yes, there is a huge difference between the Imperial Ale and the regular Pumpkin Ale. October is the best, bro. Are you kidding me? Sir Alex knows. Sir Alex knows. Oh, it was the niece. It was the niece who was playing as the thing. Which one out of the 4? So, we've done the Imperial. Give me a sec here. There's like a lot of stuff. We've done the Imperial, the smell and the taste of the Imperial. We've done the smell and taste of the Pumpkin Ale, the Night Owl. All that leaves is 2 more to go. But before we do that, I've got another piece of news to tell you. Danielle's, thank you, Danielle's. So the next part of the news that we got here is this is actually this one's more of a horror comedy, and this one's a very particular because this movie came out just yesterday, and according to what I've heard, it only came out yesterday. The movie that I'm talking about, give me a sec here. Again, there's like so much shit that I'm going through. The movie that I'm talking about is called Onyx the Fortuitous Talisman of Souls. And if you're familiar with the name Onyx, this guy started off on YouTube, such as moi. He started off at YouTube and he did this character, this very awkward Satanist, like Dungeons and Dragons playing, works at fucking Arby's, has like I don't know, issues at home type of situation. It's a very hilarious character that he plays, and he doesn't end, but he ends some of his sentences with I don't know. It's a very fucking hilarious character. So this movie, again, it played only yesterday, according to what I've heard. So I was late. I did not get the news late. I just, I got shit. I gotta pay it, right? So I didn't get to go watch it, but the trailer itself looks hilarious. The character that he invented is plain fucking funny. And in this movie, I believe there was a mention of a celebrity. There's a celebrity not goes, but comes out in the movie. And so I'll go ahead and show you guys right now. But the Onyx, the Fortuitous, basically my understanding is, again, this character is a Satanist at heart, and he gets invited to some castle somewhere, and gets him involved in demonic shit, and so on and so forth. And he basically has to fight to save basically the world. It gives me like a oh my god, that fucking movie with Jack Black and what's his face? Damn. If you guys are watching and know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments. It gives me that vibe, minus the rock and rolling and the jamming in this. But so that's basically what this is. It's just trying to save the world from demons, but in a very nerdy type of way. So this movie is pretty fucking awesome. And the celebrity that I was mentioning that appears in the movie is none other than what's her face? Taylor Swift. There's an appearance of Taylor Swift in this movie. Again, I don't know because I didn't see it. I just know for a fact that Taylor Swift comes out in the Honest and Fortuitous movie. And I mean, look at this cover. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, if you guys have no idea who the Onyx is, I can't even remember the actual dude's name, but look up Onyx the Fortuitous and just watch the character. You don't have to go far back. Just watch his recent stuff because he's been promoting the movie and whatnot, and he's been doing it in character. I mean, only, and it's just hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. So, should I do one more? Should I do one more? I think I should, because like I said, there's like a lot. There's a lot that needs covered. You know what? I'm gonna do one more news here. So I don't know if you guys heard, but if you guys are familiar, Miramax, the movie company, Paramount company, and A24. I know for a fact you guys know who A24 is because A24 has a reputation of having very, very very messed up horror movies, such as Hereditary, a fucking what's that other one with the Midsummer. There's all kinds. A24 has opened doors to like this much more fucked up but very poetic, beautiful, and twisted kind of style of movie. And so Miramax and A24 have been battling it out to buy the give me a sec here. Go for it. Yes, sir. So Miramax and A24 been battling it out and trying to see who can buy the Halloween, and by Halloween I mean Michael Myers Halloween, the franchise. And who came on top? Miramax. How interesting would it have been to see a Halloween movie and or TV series and hasn't been decided yet? Imagine having a movie or TV series of Halloween, Michael Myers, done by A24. That would have been something. But Miramax beat him to the punch. Well, not beat him to the punch, but they just they have more of it. They have more of the moolah. And so Miramax beat A24. They bought out the Halloween franchise. And so we're going to be seeing something. They haven't exactly said what it is they're going to do with it. This was like, I think a week ago. They bought them off. They're celebrating. They're doing the champagnes, whatever. They're celebrating, but they have not said what they're going to do with it. Now, if you sit down and think about this, if you are Halloween Michael Myers fans, there's a possibility of doing a series. And if they do a series, they gotta deliver it properly. They can go either one or two ways. They can either go continue from do its own thing. I'm going off track here because the 2018 continued on from the 1978 Halloween. Now, the thing about Michael Myers, and there's actually something else that I want to mention before I get into that. So Michael Myers can go either way. So, Miramax can go either way. They can either go TV show and do its own thing, make it a TV series continuing from 1978, and I mean they can't exactly do the same thing for the most recent Halloween Ends on account of if you know, you know. If not, then you all need to go check out Halloween Ends. But Miramax has an opportunity to do something with Halloween Michael Myers, and it's just a matter of just sitting and waiting and hoping that Miramax does Michael Myers good, does the storyline good, and just does not disappoint. Because there's neither good or bad when it came to 2018 Halloween and kills and ends. They had their ups and downs. It wasn't solid. It was just maybe yes, no, maybe yes. So there's that. Miramax has bought a Halloween franchise, and we'll just see what happens with that. But I mean, all I can say is they got to do this character right. They got to do him justice. It probably won't ever be to John Carpenter level, but I mean, Miramax can try. But again, it's all a matter of just waiting and just seeing what it is that they do with it. So there's that, and now let's go ahead and move on to the following beer, which is the dark. We're going to the dark side of the beer reviews here, and this one is the not the stout. I'm saving that for last because I do not want the beer shits. This one is the coffee pumpkin ale. Like I said, I love the design. It's the jack-o'-lantern sucking the soul of the coffee there. So, cheers to you guys. Oh, before I do that, a sip of water. Cleanse out the palate. Cheers. And cheers to you. Let's go. I swear this thing could be fucking caffeinated. It hits like a strong coffee. Just coffee, like it could be like a I was gonna say Mandela effect, not a Mandela effect, but what's that word? That word, the word where you take something and you think it works, but it's not supposed to do anything. It's just you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the word right now, but holy shit. Because it reads and tastes like coffee, it's just like an instant, like, boom. Woo! Okay, so, flavor-wise, coffee. Just straight coffee with like a tiny teaspoon of pumpkin. A tiny teaspoon of pumpkin creamer. Dark roasty beans, Actually, the dark roasty beans part is actually the part of this beer that makes it taste very delicious. I'm gonna rinse one more time. Leave it in the comments. Which one do you think is probably the coolest looking one right so far? But there, I gave it another rinse, so I'm gonna give it another go. Cause holy fuck, the coffee just like boom, right in the mouth. After a drink of water, have I seen Saw X? Is that's the latest one, I believe? And if it is, no. To be quite, I think I had this conversation with somebody not too long ago. I stopped watching the Saw movies. I think it was after like 2. I don't know what it is about the Saw movies that just kind of made me sort of like, it kind of bored me a little bit, which is weird because I'm into all that shit. But how do I put it? Like one of the examples that I use is the scary movies, the comedy, the horror comedy ones. I got really sick of it after 2. The same thing worked with Saw. After 2, I was just like, oh, okay, maybe that's enough. But I did hear good things about the Saw. Which one was it? Spiral, if I'm not mistaken. The Swirl. The one where Chris Rock plays the detective. I heard good things about that one. More than anything after 2 or 3. But let me know. Was it good? I haven't caught it, but I mean, like I said, I feel like Saw kind of overdid it. With the Saw X one, I saw the trailer not too long ago, and I heard something about Jigsaw coming back from like Mexico or some shit after trying to trying to look for something for his cancer, or I don't know what is going on with that storyline anymore. But I mean, let me know if you know. Let me know if you saw X, if it was good. I might check it out. I might get lost, and is it linked to any of the other ones? Because I mean, like I said, I missed a lot, dude. You recommend it? Okay. All right. I probably won't watch it in theaters. I'll probably wait for it to come out on what was it? I was about to say digital. Do people still say digital? Is that still a thing? To streaming, which is what I'm doing. You freaking idiot. And so, the coffee pumpkin ale. For those of you who are just tuning in, it's like it's nuts, bro. Straight up punch in the mouth coffee with a slight pumpkin. I love the fact that these are staying in the region of the pumpkin. None of them has left that yet, which is I say bravo to Elysian. I'm not even sure which one is the right one anymore, but I applaud to thee for staying in the pumpkin area. This one is no different, but again, the pumpkin is much more subtle than the pumpkin ale, and it's just straight up pumpkin. In fact, it's called, Punkachino. That's what this is called, Punkachino. I love the name. I love the design. I love the name. The flavor, which is cool because I'm actually not only am I a beer guy, but I'm also a coffee guy. And the fact that they managed to combine these two together and do it in a very like unique, delicious way, thumbs up to you. Thumbs fucking up to you, Elysian. So this is delicious for all you pumpkin drinkers, coffee drinkers, pumpkin spice lovers. This I recommend. If you're into coffee and you like beer, this is the go-to thing to go. Um, no creamer needed. Because it's beer, and it probably won't go good on you, unless you have like an iron stomach. And then go for it. But the Punkachino, Elysian Punkachino, is definitely a go-to for all you experimental beer and coffee lovers. So this is the one you want to drink. So I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'm gonna go some more news, because again, there's some more to cover. It's insane how much news I got to cover. What do we got here? Saw takes place after the original Saw movie. Really? Okay. I'm a much bigger fan of the first one, so I'm gonna take your word for it and check it out. So, cheers to you. Cheers to Saw X. So, done the Imperial Pumpkin Ale, the regular Pumpkin Ale, Coffee Pumpkin Ale. Hopefully, this stream doesn't end very soon, because, as I mentioned at the very beginning, mixing stout with anything else gives me the beer shits. So, just to that, I'm gonna finish this one off. All right, let's move on to some more horror news. Cheers, sir. So the next thing we got here is so for those of you tuning in, we've done Stephen King thinking the Blair Witch Project was too freaky. Stephen King's Langoliers might be coming back or becoming a thing. Onyx the Fortuitous, Talent of Souls, and the fact that Taylor Swift came out in Onyx the Fortuitous, which was only in theaters for yesterday. It only came out in theaters yesterday. And also, Miramax buying the TV rights to Halloween franchise, beating A24. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about here is a little thing called VHS. Shudder reveals the 7th installment of the VHS franchise. If you are not familiar of VHS is basically a movie with a bunch of different types of stories all together, just in a form of a VHS recorded movie. They're really, really good. They're very fucked up. And like they fall in the category of like how I mentioned in the very beginning, the Blair Witch Project, found footage stuff. But again, much more twisted, much more gore, and just plain bloody, and just completely all over the fucking place. And according to this will be the 7th one. The 7th part, the 7th movie will be only showing in Shudder. So sucks for me. I have to work on getting Shudder now if I actually want to check this out. I've checked out the first VHS, and I think it was 2 and 3. All of them were good. They do not disappoint. If you're into the very messed up stuff, the messed up horror stuff, I definitely recommend this. So look out for VHS. I believe it's 99. There's so many of these VHS. It's crazy. This one's called VHS Goes to Hell. This will only be premiering in Shudder. So if y'all want to see something real messed up and a bunch of things going on all at once and cramped up into one movie, this is the one that I recommend. You will not get disappointed. You'll be very entertained, possibly scarred, but it is definitely a go-to for October if you're into the gory stuff. And I'm gonna go into one more thing here before we go into the Dark of the Moon, the pumpkin stout. So let's see. We've got here's another one. This one is a personal favorite. This one is Godzilla related. Where all my Godzilla fans at? This one's going to be about none other. They just released this, I believe, last week or a few days ago. So this is just recent. This is gonna be not a movie, a TV show. This is gonna be that's the wrong one. Spoiler alert, bro. Right? This is the the Monarch Legacy of Monsters. This would be a I hate the fact that they call it drama. I really hope it doesn't turn out to be something along the lines of evil. What was it? Dawn of the Dead? No, Dawn of the Dead. That fucking zombie show that got very popular. Was not a fan of it because there was more human drama, but less zombies. I hope it's not that situation. So, Monarch is gonna start airing soon, and also, we're gonna see a span from where I'm not 100% sure if it kind of sort of leads from Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If you're all familiar with King of the Monsters, it's basically shows everything that we're kind of sort of seeing in the trailer of this new Godzilla show. So basically, everything has gone to shit completely. And there's a group of scientists that stumble upon some very important what's it called, research that's under the name Monarch. So apparently this all connects to the reason why all these other monsters, not Godzilla, started taking over literally the world. And so we got a comment here. Give me a sec. See what it's all about. The Walking Dead. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I was not a big fan of that one. Like I said, too much drama, not enough zombies. That's just me. But yes, The Walking Dead. Thank you so much. And the Godzilla show. So the scientists stumbled upon this very important research, again under the name Monarch, and we're seeing them unveiling the importance of this research. But again, just like it's been pretty much done in the past two Godzilla movies, they always run into a fucking wall, and they have to do what they typically do. They have to go to basically Godzilla. That's basically what it is. I mean, like, there's no way of them facing what it is that's coming. I mean, it's giant monsters taking over the goddamn world, and just like they did in Godzilla King of the Monsters, they portray, well, not portray, but they do show that there's some sort of balance. The monsters that are unleashed are just, they're out to cause chaos. They're just out to just rule because, they're basically giant animals, right? And so we see that in King of the Monsters. But what we also see in King of Monsters is Godzilla being a total fucking boss that we all fucking know and love. Godzilla is being brought up by these scientists because, again, you can't in a very apocalyptic world ruled by giant monsters, and you find an answer to be able to solve, not solve, but save humanity. There's always a left turn, and they always gotta turn back to my man, to my what was I calling him? G-Man, the G-Man. Because Godzilla is fucking Godzilla is just the what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? He's just nature. He is the balance, and they portray that in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Monsters are going crazy. Ghidorah and all of them going just fucking crazy and taking over everything. Godzilla goes in, puts his foot down, and completely shuts the entire thing down, and just again regaining balance. And that's the beauty about Godzilla, and then Godzilla's just like always going to be my all-time favorite. Tracking back a little bit, talking about Godzilla, there was a quote. I might have forgotten to add that in there, but there was a quote by John Carpenter. Oh, give me a sec here. Me either. Oh, cool. We're on the same page. King of the Monsters. Yes, sorry. Did I not say that? I'm sorry if I didn't. But there was a quote by John Carpenter himself saying that Michael Myers was basically his Godzilla. And how I was mentioning earlier that Michael Myers can be used either way, because he can be the one to kill absolutely everybody. He can be the one to according to Halloween Ends, he could be the one to possess anybody. He can be the one to just completely make Haddonfield go fucking crazy. And so he compared Michael Myers, his character Michael Myers, to Godzilla. So Godzilla can be used in either scenario, such as Michael Myers. So I found that to be fucking cool and very awesome, because Michael Myers and Godzilla are just like, they're the faces. Well, not so much Godzilla, because Godzilla is more like completely like different type of realm. But Michael Myers is definitely one of the faces of October Halloween. Godzilla will catch up as soon as people get it. As soon as people get it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. The fact that John Carpenter called his Michael Myers character, or compared his Michael Myers character to Godzilla. So let me go ahead and see where we are at here. Again, there's like a lot, guys. There's a lot to cover. We've been through Miramax buying Halloween, VHS, freaking Onyx the Fortuitous, Pet Sematary Bloodline, Friday the 13th, fan film, and Stephen King thinking that Blair Witch Project was too freaky, and possible Langoliers coming back. We got all that. I think I'm gonna do one more, do the review, and then do the last two. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, last two. Yeah, let's do one more. So this next one is another little mini movie review. This one is called Deep Fear. I don't know if Sharks versus Narcs is part of the title, but from what I'm seeing and my understanding is that this is basically going to be a cocaine bear, but with sharks. So hence the Sharks versus Narcs. So this movie, I mean the movie trailer, it starts off pretty good. I mean it's running its thing with what's it called? It's possible it might not be up there with Jaws, but it's definitely going to be Jaws, quite literally on cocaine. Like I said, this is I don't know if it's the same people who did Cocaine Bear, but I mean it's like it's pretty much the same thing. It's an animal who ingest drugs. I think it was even cocaine, if not even mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, that they mentioned in the trailer. So there's that. But the trailer looks pretty sick. Again, there's no fucking Jaws vibes. I mean, yes, a little bit, but again, on cocaine. The shark is much more precise, much faster, and the story is that a bunch of this random people go into the ocean on a boat, just chilling, I guess vacationing, whatever. You stumble upon people who have just been like in a boat accident, so they're just kind of like roaming around, and they save them. Turned out that they're just like, they're bad people. They're bad people, and they're trying to get their drugs back. And in them trying to get their drugs back, they get attacked by sharks who just so happen to have eaten the drugs, and so on and so forth. But I mean, the trailer looks pretty decent, but it might be more funny than anything else. I didn't get to see Cocaine Bear, but I hear that it's more funny because I mean it's a fucking animal on cocaine going fucking crazy and killing people. So there's that. So that is Deep Fear. Once again, it's a shark movie. I don't know about you guys, but the fact that there's like killer fucking sharks in movies, it's freaky. The fact that you can die underwater is just like, it's messed up. But moving on to the last beer, and then we'll on to the last two things that I want to talk about, and then we'll end this live. So this one here is what's it called? The Dark O' the Moon by Elysian. This one is a stout. The design on this thing is freaking cool. Again, it's got the werewolf. Again, Halloween themed. So cheers to you guys. And well, let's go. Very bittery. Very bittery. In fact, I'm going to start putting these back on ice, because I just realized I'm not a fan of room temperature stout. I gotta get that cold real quick, real fast. As far as the flavors go, much more bitter than the coffee stout. I'm sorry, not the coffee stout. The freaking coffee pumpkin ale. Much more bitter. Dark roasted coffee beans, like burnt coffee beans. Barely any sweetness at all whatsoever. It's more like, actually no, I lied. There's a hint of sweetness. It's neither, well, could be slight vanilla. Slight, like almost absolutely nothing. I'm gonna rinse. It's probably the longest live I've ever done just by myself, but again, there's a lot to unpack, guys. The last news that I got is probably going to be the much more high-end news, because it's real. It's not a movie. It's nothing like that. This is actually something that's going to be taking place. So just to let you know, if you're sticking around, you're gonna hear some stuff. As far as this goes, dark coffee beans. No creamers I was mentioning for the rest of these. This has like a slight sweetness compared to the pumpkin ale. Sweetest, sweet, not so sweet, much more darker, much more bitter. Like the only sweetness that I can catch on this one is like a super dark chocolate. Other than that, just like super dark burnt roasted coffee bean. There's something else in there that I'm not catching. There's the wheat. I think that's pretty much it. It's very, very smooth. Very smooth. I'm not digging the fact that it's gotten to room temperature since I've been coming at you guys with this whole horror news. But, I mean, if you're into stouts, this is something that you guys would probably be into. It's not as calm as, let's say, like a Guinness stout, but it definitely does have its character. I'd say that Guinness has a little bit more character than this one, but it does have its okay, I'm not gonna lie, this probably is like my least favorite stout. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is probably my least favorite stout. It's a slightly more bitter than a typical stout. It could use a little bit of more sweetness, but again, that's only coming from somebody who has a sweet tooth. But it's neither good nor bad. Do I recommend this? I'm gonna say maybe. It really all depends on y'all's palate. I've always said that, especially with the stouts. Stouts has you gotta come at it with open mind, because it's much more. You just gotta be more open minded when it comes to stouts. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep drinking. I don't know which one right now, but in the meantime, I'm gonna serve this one. This is the sweetest one. This one was where you at? The Imperial. I'm gonna serve the Imperial because, to be quite honest with you, I need a little bit of sweetness after having that stout. And wow, I have my stout. I'm gonna go ahead and share the last two things here. This one is a movie. This one is called. Actually, I might have missed one. Three things actually. This one's a movie. This one's called Stream. This one was out, I think, about 2 or 3 days ago. It was this week. This movie the trailer just came out. The trailer looks pretty fucking sick. Give me a sec here. I want to say it was this one. No, that's not it. I got all my stuff completely all mixed up. But basically, the movie is pretty much based on a stream such as this, except it's people who are chosen at random, and it's I think of it as if y'all seen the movie 31 that was directed by Rob Zombie. It's a ginormous game, a survival game, and basically to not win, but yeah, win is to not die. That's basically the whole entire thing about this this movie here. but the movie itself looks pretty sick. I like, again, there's so much that I might have gotten so much of my shit mixed up. But the characters in this movie, it's like a combination of 31 and The Purge, as you can see here. It's got some Purge vibes. But the movie itself looks pretty interesting. We've got some very familiar faces. Again, I don't want to give too much because this is not a movie review. This is kind of just letting you guys know the news of what's happening in the horror community and as horror movies and so on and so forth. But this stream movie, it's interesting, and it's definitely something that you guys want to look at. Just Google it up, stream movie trailer. Look it up. It looks interesting. And let's move on to the next thing that we got here, and that is this one. This one was this close to not coming out, but because it just came out today, I was like, you know what? I saw the trailer and I was like, fuck it. It looks cool. The next one I want to talk about is called Lord Misrule. This fucking movie gives me Hereditary with a hint of Midsummer, and possibly, if you all have seen Paranormal Activity, it gives me all of those vibes combined. This movie just freaking looks interesting. It's got everything. It's got a good storyline. I'm not entirely sure what the timeline is in this movie, but basically, by my understanding, is that there's some sort of evil in the woods, and it basically trades for human life, and then gives this particular small town or village blessings for when it does so. And so I mean, it looks creepy. Again, it gives me all these different movie vibes: Midsummer, Hereditary, Paranormal Activity, minus the found footage kind of style of scenery. But it's definitely creepy, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the people who worked on the movie Witch worked on this. So if you all are familiar with Witch or fans of Witch, you know that this is gonna have some very eerie vibes to this movie, and it's not gonna disappoint. And not only that, but you will probably be on the edge of your seat. This is gonna be very suspenseful, scary, hopefully. But again, this just came out today. This close to not putting it in, but I saw the trailer and I was like, man, I gotta talk about it. We got a comment here. Oh, nice. Let me know what you think. It looks good. Like, it looks promising. But I mean, we've already had like how many Purge movies? It kind of feels like that, but again, a combination of 31, which, if you have not seen that, I do recommend. It's a good one. Not a lot of some people think that the Rob Zombie movies are a bit too much, and I think the only reason for that is because Rob Zombie's style of filmmaking is much more raunchy, much more violent, a lot of cussing, and people just don't seem to like that, which is like, grow the fuck up, you're an adult, right? It's for adults, right? So whatever, but check that out for sure. And that's it for the streaming. I mean, not for stream. We talked about stream. We talked about we talked about Lords of Misrule. Very, very cool looking movie. Very promising. Hopefully, do not quote me on that. This is just, what I see with my own two eyes. And now, the last piece of news that I have for you guys. This has been quite a stream. Sorry for keeping you off for so long. Let me know in the comments which one of these beers have you thought has looked good, looked interesting, something that you'll probably try it yourselves, or let me know in the comments all the news that I've gotten so far, which one was the one that hit. Leave it in the comments below. And now I'm gonna take a sip of this Imperial ale. Now I'm about to lay on you guys the last thing, the last piece of horror news that I've got. The only thing is, there was absolutely nothing else on this other than this picture. This is the Universal Horror Unleashed, and to sum it up, what this is going to be an all year round Halloween theme park on I believe they said it was Las Vegas, Nevada. This will be all year round Halloween theme park at Las Vegas, Nevada. There has not been a release date on this yet. They're just teasing us right now. All of us horror fans, they're just teasing. They released this news about a day or two ago, so we're gonna be able to celebrate Halloween. The only problem is we're gonna have to travel our asses all the way to freaking Nevada, Las Vegas, to be able to do so. But they have not said anything else. This is just like something they just confirmed. I will try to see. Does not have to be October for me to keep up with this. It's just, it's just something I like to talk about. So maybe I'll do a beer review and talk about that, or just talk about that, or whatever. So pretty psyched about that. They just got a punk rock museum that opened about a couple of months or so ago, and now we're going to be getting an all year round Halloween not museum, but just park or whatever it is they're gonna do with it. But the fact that it's gonna be in Las Vegas, the city, what do they call it again? City of Sin. I forgot how they put it. But the fact that we're gonna have that option to go and just have our not moments, but just enjoy ourselves, have our little piece of horror, and just travel, vacation, and have horror at the same time. So there's that. Again, there was nothing else other than this picture, Universal Horror Unleashed. You would have thought that maybe it would have been Universal Studios, but they're taking this on tour and they're taking it to Las Vegas. So all I know is that they might have a little bit of everything from the classic Universal monsters, from Dracula, Creature, Black Lagoon, the Mummy, the Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and they might also have some more modern stuff. They didn't go into specifics. Universal is more known for their classic Universal monsters, just like the ones that I just named. So there is that. Again, sadly, there's no other pictures, because again, this was only confirmed a few days ago. So there's that. So that concludes this very long solo live, guys. Oh, here we go. It's a great location. Vegas is always. Oh, hells yeah, dude. So that's gonna be something. So again, that concludes this live, guys. Very long solo live, but again, I had a lot of stuff to just let go, so y'all can just be informed. That last one was probably the most coolest one because it's something that you can actually go to and experience, and just a place to go to just get away from it all and just be around monsters and stuff, which is like that's like my thing, right? So anyways, that concludes this live, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you all enjoyed all the 4 different types of pumpkin beers. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. We went down from the coffee pumpkin, we went to imperial pumpkin, we went to the regular pumpkin ale, right down to the darkest of them all, the freaking pumpkin stout. Leave it in the comments down below which one was the most eye-catching one, the one that you think will probably be the one you would try the most. Leave it in the comments below. And as well, let me know which one was the best horror news that I laid on you guys, and let me know what you guys think about it, and we can maybe chat about it in the comment box right down there. And with that, I will say peace out. I will see you guys in the next one. And remember, if you keep watching, I'm going to keep drinking. Cheers, guys. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.